Tonight, the hip-hop scene is ablaze, and nothing will ever be the same. Unexpectedly, Dipset icon Camron went live and revealed a scandal so sinister and perilous that it may perhaps destroy Jim Jones and Chrissy in real time. Cam lit a spark under the most notorious love tale in Harlem with a single smirk and a single statement. The internet is now drowning in disorder. Imagine it sitting calmly, taking a sip, and then abruptly bending towards the camera while tens of thousands of people look on. He murmurs, "Chrissy has secrets. Jimmy was the last to find out." There is silence in the room. Screenshots start coming in seconds later. Lately, Twitter become blurry. Nighttime pictures, mysterious text messages, and rumors of treachery that go far beyond romantic triangles. Supporters yell. When Cam claims to have the receipts that will end careers, YouTubers go on record and bloggers scramble. Hashtags go viral in a matter of hours. Hashtag Chrissy revealed. Hashtag pray for Jim. Hashtag Cam received the invoices. Every pixel of every purported breach is examined in viral forums. There were rumors that Chrissy was concealing another man, a bad transaction, a double life Jim didn't anticipate. By dawn, the story is evident. Jim Jones is not only in danger of losing Chrissy, he could end up losing everything: his kingdom, his pride, his respect. The worst part is that sources say this is just the beginning. Camron is just getting warmed up. The unspoken truths have the potential to shatter families, sever friendships, and completely upend the Harlem tradition. Down the internet went crazy as soon as Camron said those words. In a matter of minutes, snippets of his tone, his smirk, and that terrifying sentence "Chrissy learned secrets" were played on all platforms. The way he leaned forward was examined by fans as they repeatedly played it again. The cunning smile, the assurance in his tone. There was no trolling here. This was no joke. Everyone understood that Cam sounded like a man with ammunition. The receipts would soon come to light. It took very little time. At 3:17 a.m., the first leak occurred. Chrissy is purportedly seen in a grainy screenshot. The sender's name was Hazy in a late-night text discussion, but the language was too crude to ignore. "I cannot continue to conceal this. He isn't worthy of you." I read one text. Even more damaging was Chrissy's apparent response. "You assured me that this would remain private. Don't force me to pick." Screenshots of the exchange were analyzed by ardent fans and armchair investigators, and they spread more quickly than wildfire. Before Jim Jones even woke up, his name started to trend. Twitter was overrun with memes. One included Jim's visage photoshopped onto the Secrets and Snakes poster for a soap opera. "Good morning to everyone, except Chrissy's secret contact." Another picture showed him holding a phone, and instead of laughing, fans demanded answers. If the texts were authentic, it meant the most well-known love story in Harlem. In real time, the plot was falling apart. However, the leaks continued. The enigmatic Instagram user started sharing more purported receipts by dawn. Chrissy having a private dinner in blurry pictures. Across the table, a hand rested on hers. The angle is too calculated to be arbitrary. Although the man's face was obscured, there was instant conjecture. Was that Cam? Was it someone else? The internet formally dubbed the image the Harlem Betrayal after it sparked hundreds of thousands of comments. Insiders, however, murmured that Jim had been caught off guard. According to a source close to the Love and Hip Hop production, he barged into the set the following angry in the morning, asking that the cameras be turned off. He allegedly slammed a chair and said, "Y'all think I'm a clown. Y'all think you're going to feel my pain like it's entertainment." Caught in the crossfire, Chrissy sobbed and begged the filmmakers not to broadcast the incident. "This isn't a storyline," she said. They reportedly cried. The producers, however, smelt blood in the water. "This is my life." The cameras continued to record. When audio emerged that afternoon, the internet went wild once more. Online, a muffled voicemail purportedly left by Chrissy was discovered. Her voice faltered. "No one would ever know. You said, you cursed. Now that everything is collapsing, I am unable to keep him safe." Fans were left wondering, since the voice on the other end seemed distorted. However, one line caught my attention. Are you aware of what you agreed to?" The level of speculation skyrocketed. Some admirers insisted that Cam was the voice. It sounded like another Harlem rapper, according to others. Blogs wrote in-depth analyses of the background noise, the pauses, and the However, regardless of the theory, there was only one obvious conclusion. Chrissy wasn't merely concealing information. Something larger, something perilous, had imprisoned her. Jim was the last person to find out. But Jim wasn't keeping his mouth shut. He went live on Instagram in the evening. Veins, pace, and shirtless, spitting venom into the camera. He bulged in his neck. "Stop fooling with me, you guys. I established my reputation. I established my empire. Doesn't anyone talk that way about Cam? No, Chrissy, not no one." He banged his palm on the wall, and his voice cracked. "Show the receipts if there are any. Get out of hiding in the dark." It was a nasty comment area. Snake emojis were spammed by fans, while some pleaded with him to leave her. Trolls merely replied, Cam went. Then the shocking revelation, it rocked the culture to its foundation. On Twitter, a leaked recording purportedly from a private chat between Cam and a colleague was made public. Cam's voice is eerily informal in it. Jimmy always believed he was in charge, but he was unaware of the reality. Chrissy was mine, always belonged to me. Within minutes, the video went popular after being posted on TikTok, analyzed on Clubhouse, and replayed on Twitter. Supporters cried out betrayal. If true, it indicated that Cam had claimed Chrissy rather than simply exposing her. The consequences were immediate. Chrissy's Instagram, the comment area, became a battleground. Is this accurate? A fan inquired. How were you able to? Someone else wrote. Others stood up for her, claiming that Cam had altered the audio to cause mayhem. However, the strain was too great. After several hours, Chrissy shared a mysterious tale. Jim was in a downward spiral when he saw a black screen that read, "Don't believe everything you hear. People will do anything for clout." It only made things worse. According to another insider, he yelled at Chrissy and demanded explanations when he confronted her at home. According to reports, neighbors heard yelling and objects shattering. The tears of Chrissy reverberated through the walls. Another footage leaked by midnight. Jim is sitting by himself in his car, mumbling to himself, his eyes bloodshot. "Everyone is giggling at me. Everyone believes that I am weak." The fans were appalled. Jim, live on the internet. Jones, the hustler, the capo, is reduced to a broken man. Celebrity responses were flooding in. When it comes to mayhem, 50 Cent never loses. Cardi B tweeted, "Woo, chilly," and posted a meme of Cam grinning with the tagline, "Harlem soap opera, better than TV." It sparked 200K retweets. The ghetto. Fat Joe even joined in with a mysterious message. The streets feed when the family turns. The fire was fueled by every response and comment. However, the last betrayal was still to come. 2:00 a.m. A video clip from the unidentified Instagram account, filmed through what appeared to be blinds, was grainy and unsteady. Chrissy was seen walking inside a hotel room. A man followed a few moments later. The silhouette was apparent, but not his face. It matched Cam's. According to fans, the internet went down again. Blog activity surged. Memes with captions like "Camron said Dipset, not couple set," went viral, and fans engaged in endless argument. Titles shouted, "Proof Chrissy and Cam together." Jim played for a fool. The harm was already done. Even if Lee's clip reel was a nasty fake, the name Jim Jones was all over the place. Chrissy's image was destroyed, and Camron was portrayed as the ultimate truth teller and villain. One thing was clear by sunrise. Jim wasn't only losing his relationship, he was his legacy slipping away. Rumors circulated that Cam wasn't even done, and that the actual receipts hadn't yet been released. As fans waited for the next leak, there was a cruel cliffhanger. A hacker tweeted something cryptic. "Chrissy isn't the secret. Jimmy has been keeping the secret all along." A blurry screen grab of legal paperwork with Jim's name was attached. The internet froze as the caption said, "Next drop changes everything." This was the checkmate if Cam had been playing games. Chrissy was no longer the focus of the story. It has to do with Jim. By Jim, Jones was more than just a meme when the sun rose over Harlem. He served as the focal point of a collapsing empire. Twitter was ablaze with hypotheses after the hackers' obfuscated legal documents were already broken down frame by frame. Does Jimmy have no money? A user inquired. Ben said that his drip was rented in response to another, simultaneously trending hashtags like #GMXexposed and #ChrissyGate. Combined financial and romantic scandals into one terrible storm. The hammer fell at midday. Full files, scanned contracts, delinquent loans, default notices, and even a purported foreclosure notice connected to a New Jersey property were all posted by the hacker account. Foreclosure notice connected to a New Jersey property were all posted by the hacker account. One paragraph that fans circled suggested that millions had been embezzled through shell corporations connected to Jones' inner circle. "Jimmy ain't losing Chrissy. He already lost everything," was the straightforward caption, and the consequences were immediate. Articles with the heading, "Jim Jones confronting bankruptcy." Reaction channels on YouTube, each claiming to have exclusive sources, live-streamed breakdowns. On a podcast, a former colleague of Jim even stated, "I'm not shocked. Jimmy Ben Frontin has been doing this for years. The money hasn't been right since Dips." However, the worst was still to come. An audio recording of a purported phone conversation between Jim and a financial advisor started making the rounds. The advisor replies icily to Jim's cries of despair, "Just move the money. They can't see it. If they see it, I'm done." The clip did more than merely validate the documents it depicted. It's too late. They already know. Jim is a man who is rushing to conceal truths that have already been discovered. Brutal mockery erupted on the internet, using photoshopped images of him into Monopoly boards with comments like "Do not pass go," "Do not collect memes," ridiculed him as a Jimmy phony. Despite the laughs, there was a darker current fan base that suggested Jim might have coerced Chrissy into something more serious than an affair. Did she have a secret about his collapsing enterprise in addition to romance? Meanwhile, Chrissy spoke up once more. Using a live video this time, commenters crowded the screen as she said, This is lies. Y'all trying to destroy us. Jimmy is not broke. He is not hiding nothing. Stop believing fake hackers. Her mascara was still streaming. How about the footage from the hotel? What about Cam? What about the texts? Her defense only made the commotion worse. Insiders whispered turmoil behind the scenes. Jim and Chrissy's relationship was reportedly collapsing in front of the cameras. According to production sources, allegedly, one producer leaked. He said she was seeing Cam. She said he was lying about the money. It was yelling, sobbing, and breaking glasses. We had to stop shooting. Chrissy threatened to leave the program completely. According to another insider, I didn't join to be made fun of like this. Then the story was turned upside down by the betrayal. Jimmy always been broke. Chrissy knew. She was just waiting for the right time to dip. Followed by an alleged group discussion. A purportedly ex-member of Jim's crew went live on Instagram, chuckling. Chrissy venting, in a screenshot, "He's dragging me down. I can't carry his lies anymore." Fans were frozen. Was Chrissy covertly preparing to break up with him before Cam came clean? Naturally, Camron doused the fire with petrol. He captioned a picture of himself drinking champagne, saying, "Told y'all, Harlem already knew that Jimmy was all cap." In less than 2 hours, the post received 500,000 likes. Celebrities heaped 50 Cent with laughing emojis underneath. "It stings every time Remy Ma tells a secret." Clown season, Funk Flex captioned the repost. The culture wasn't merely observing. The show was being consumed by NEAT. However, during a live interview, a different voice broke through the commotion, delivering a startling warning. "This is no longer funny. They are tampering with the life of a man. Relationship and financial issues are what's hazardous area." Fans were just more eager for more after hearing his remarks. Believed there were more profound truths out there. The hackers struck again. As if on cue, they made public what they said was a covert audio recording made during a DIPET meeting that took place behind closed doors years ago. Within the muffled voices quarreled over missing money in the tape. "I'll fix it. I'll fix everything. Just don't tell Cam." A man who sounds like Jim yells, "I'll fix it. I'll fix everything. Just don't tell Cam." A voice that is purportedly Cam responds, "You always lying. Jimmy, one day them lies going to bury you." The recording quickly went viral, hailed as evidence that the financial cracks had been there the entire time. Jim went into a deeper spiral. Witnesses saw him outside a studio in Manhattan, screaming into his phone, "Y'all trying to kill me? You want me dead? That's what this is." Every moment was captured by paparazzi cameras. Fans questioned if Jim Jones' anger was directed at Cam, Chrissy, or the hackers, but after seeing pictures of him with headlines like "Jim Jones meltdown as empire crumbles," he was unraveling. That much was certain. Then, the most startling leak yet appeared. An unidentified YouTuber posted a video called "The Entire Recording Was Made Public by Chrissy's Secret." In the video, a woman's voice purports to be Chrissa, confessing over the phone, "The only reason I stayed was because I believed he would recover. However, Cam assured me that I wouldn't drown beside Jimmy." The internet fell apart. It was more than an offer, if it were real. It was a strategic survival tactic. Accused of supporting Jim out of love, Chrissy is now portrayed as supporting him to maintain her reputation until she is able to leave. The retaliation was severe and quick. Fans accused Chrissy of betraying her on all fronts, flooding her social media accounts with snake emojis. He was already broke when she broke him. One tweet went viral. Overnight, the narrative shifted when someone else said, "Cam ain't the villain Casey is." Jim was more than the clown anymore. Unfortunately, he was exposed and betrayed. However, the catastrophe just became worse. That evening, Chili fans feared the worst when a video of Jim crying over the phone surfaced, saying, "I can't do this no more. I lost her. I lost the money. I lost everything." The voice on the other end implored Jim to remain composed. Was Jim on the verge of total collapse? There were factions on the internet. Some pleaded with Chrissy to save him by coming clean. Jim's demise was ridiculed by others as retribution for previous conflicts. Cam, meanwhile, added fuel to the fire with another enigmatic post. "Don't be shocked when the house falls when you build on lies." And right when everyone believed the hackers released their most crude teaser yet after the storm had reached its zenith, the final truth was the name of a folder. There was one indistinct picture of Jim inside what seemed like a courtroom. The cliffhanger struck like an earthquake, as the caption stated, "Tomorrow, everything comes out and Jimmy won't survive it." Was Jim already bankrupt and now facing criminal charges? Was the picture of the courtroom staged or authentic? The fans waited with pleasure, fear, and expectation. The web didn't go to sleep. All the platforms were buzzing. One eerie fact reverberated, and each timeline burned. Jim Jones wasn't simply losing Chrissy if the last drop was genuine. He was going crazy. It was like waiting for the end of the world as the hacker drop countdown approached. Fans on all platforms were glued to their screens as midnight drew near. Twitter gaps were full of with thousands. Instagram sites gave hourly updates, and YouTubers planned live streams. This goes beyond hip-hop and love. When the files eventually fell, Jim's reputation was completely destroyed rather than just shattered. As one widely shared tweet stated, "This is Harlem history unraveling." Court documents that showed litigation, liens, and failed business ventures built like dominoes were widely shared online, and supposed federal inquiry into embezzled money connected to Jim's clothesline was disclosed on one heartbreaking page. The hackers wrote a ruthless caption: "The capo wasn't Jimmy. The scammer was him." Chaos broke out on the internet. Supporters cried out betrayal. Headlines were dominated by blogs. Jim Jones is being investigated by the federal government. Chrissy's treachery gets worse. Every page was examined in real time by YouTubers, and amazing comments were coming in from spectators eager to hear rumors. What had been an untouchable capo was now a joke, a man deprived of wealth, dignity, and affection. However, the disclosures went beyond documents. A video file was included, wobbly, grainy, and obviously recorded in secret while Sue and Chrissy argue at a private meeting. His voice was broken, fractured, and no longer there. "Chrissy, take everything, everything," shirt, and no longer there. "Chrissy, take everything, everything." Yu was also expected to accompany me on the ride. Chrissy retaliated, clearly upset. "Come along on the ride. You misled me. You spoke falsehoods about the transactions, the money, everything. Years ago, Cam warned me, but I didn't want to believe him." The damage seemed irreparable, yet the clip ended abruptly. The fans stopped. There was more to Chrissy's purported involvement with Cam. She had known of Jim's demise. Throughout, she didn't appear to be staging her tears. Betrayal lit didn't sound like her voice. It sounded like tiredness. She was instantly marketed as a lady who was trapped between two men who had a long history of animosity. Not merely as a traitor, two men who have been at odds for decades. As expected, Camron twisted the knife. He shared an old picture of himself, Jim, and Chrissy from the early 2000s captioned it, "Y'all should have listened when I said it." Fans demanded that Cam drop the remainder, and the comments section erupted with snake and fire His living sneer remained haunting. The internet, Jim's downward spiral, meanwhile, became more widely known. He was photographed by paparazzi outside a bodega in Harlem, talking to himself while wearing a sweatshirt and clearly shaking. He was heard yelling, "They trying to bury me alive. Y'all don't even know half the story," in a fan audio that quickly went viral. #S like #prayer for Jim, #Jimmy finished the competition. Then followed the betrayal that nobody anticipated. The team Jim had trusted for decades, including an accused member of his closest circle, came out with alarming allegations. He disclosed in a late-night Instagram live, "We gave Cam those receipts. Jimmy has been lying to us too. He wasn't just broke. He was using us to hide it." He went on to share screenshots of group chats in which Jim was called Captain Capo and ridiculed by crew members. Fans were incredulous. He wasn't the only one surrounded by snakes. They were within his home. The reactions from celebrities were like missiles. Cardi B tweeted, "This is sad. Everybody eating off his pain." Meek Mill stated cryptically that Harlem love is different. 50 Cent released a video of himself laughing and saying, "Told y'all, Jimmy always been soft. Watch who you put your trust in." The culture was dining, not merely observing. Chrissy made one last attempt to save her reputation. She uploaded a black and white selfie to Instagram with a lengthy, heartfelt comment. "Jim is someone I adore. I supported him through it all. However, the falsehoods, the treachery, the secrets, I can no longer bear it. I'm done keeping him safe." She was devastated by the remarks, even though the post received a ton of likes and hours. "You knew you broke him, Snake." Her attempt at pity simply made the criticism more intense. The hackers were far from done. They revealed what they referred to as the last nail 2 days later. Jim reportedly broke down in a complete phone call recording with Chrissy, saying, "I can't fight no more. Chrissy, I lost it all, the house, the respect, the streets, and now I lost you, too." Her response was cold. "Jimmy, you didn't lose me. A long time ago, you lost yourself." Everyone on the internet gasped. Stunned by the coldness in her tone by this point, fans listened to the tape repeatedly. Jim Jones has become a shadow of his former self. He would reportedly stall in a hotel and not return calls. He was seen by paparazzi pacing by himself while grumbling and wearing headphones. More rumors were only stoked by his silence. Was he planning to get even with Cam, ready for something darker, or deciding to leave Chrissy? When Camron made a double-down appearance on a podcast, the narrative reached its conclusion. He smiled as he leaned back. Jimmy ain't never been what he pretended. Chrissy was aware of this. Everyone was aware. "I just said the truth, to do you all a favor." The hosts were taken aback. It was snipped by fans. The soundbite also became widely popular. "I did you all a favor by becoming this week's meme," splattered on Instagram Reels and TikToks. However, the most sinister cliffhanger was still to come. A shaky video purportedly taken inside a courtroom was uploaded late one evening by an unknown user. Jim was seen whispering to his lawyer with his head down. No one could verify if the video was authentic or manipulated. But the internet didn't care. The caption said, "This is bigger than betrayal. Charges coming soon." The story was established. Jim Jones was facing the loss of his freedom in addition to losing Chrissy Cam and his money. There were seismic reactions. Supporters pleaded for clarification. Blogs used dramatic headlines to capitalize on the story. One terrifying question sent Twitter into overdrive. Was Jim Jones on the verge of losing everything? And despite global disagreement, one thing was certain. The empire had collapsed. What started out as Camron grinning, live ended with Jim Jones being devastated by treachery. The weight of a whole civilization watching him break in real time, along with secrets, and the cliffhanger was brutal. One last message was posted by the hackers. "We informed you that this was just the start. Harlem has yet to see nothing. And now, the world is watching in real time as the Harlem Empire falls." Ken didn't only stir things up, the entire kitchen was spilt by him. Chrissy has revealed her secrets. Jim has lost his money. He was betrayed by his crew. Additionally, the hackers assure them that the courtroom revelation is just the start. The romance is over. The empire is in ruins. Nevertheless, rumors claim that there are still more receipts. There are more recordings and betrayals that are just waiting to happen. This goes beyond mere rumors. It's history on fire, and the next leak can occur at any time. A charge that permanently alters everything, a name, and a video. Additionally, you will either be the first person in queue to witness a tour when it drops. The last person to know will be you, left fumbling while the internet continues to evolve without you. This is what you do at the moment. The like button should be mashed until it breaks. We can tell you desire the truth with each click. The unprocessed raw receipts that the industry would want not to be made public. The next drop won't wait for your little drop in the middle of the night. So hit subscribe and enable all notifications, and you'll miss it if you blink. And right now, I want you to leave a comment. In reality, who is at fault? Jim for creating an empire of lies, Chrissy for betraying, or Cam for exposing? Because of the ongoing debate and the importance of your input, please share your theory below. Firestorm, keep scrolling. Avoid looking back. The actual damage hasn't even not yet begun. The actual damage hasn't even not yet begun.